So ETL pipeline, or normally we can use another term like data pipeline. So it is one of the component of data pipeline. So ETL stands for extract, transform, and load. Okay. So let us understand what exactly it means and why we are saying that this particular thing is very important. Okay. So ETL is a general terminology that is often associated with data warehouses. Okay. Now, why I'm saying data warehouses? So we'll see on that part, because when we say about a data your data lake, so we can just replace this particular thing with ELT. So extract, transform, and load. Instead of that, we will be using, in case of data lakes, ELT, that is extract, load, and transform. So I'll come to that part again, like why this particular thing will be there. So first of all, let us try to understand what is these three important aspect whenever we are talking about anything related to data. So extract. Okay. Now we will be learning about different data sources in the coming slide. So you may have multiple sources from which or from where you may be collecting the data. Okay. So from these multiple sources, the first thing to work on that data or to take any action on that data, it is very important to extract it as per our required format, or let us say you can just focus on the value, okay, or whatever data is coming from. So extract is the process to store your data in your format, in your storage locations, where you can just perform some kind of operation on that. Now, if you're extracting the data, so we have multiple sources. For example, your data may be coming from databases. Your data may be coming from, let us say, your flat data file like txt files or csv file. Okay. And when we talk about databases, so again, we have multiple types of databases. We learned about some kind of SQL base, that is structured databases. We can have some non-structured or NoSQL based databases. So we can see like data can be coming from multiple sources in multiple formats. So it can be a challenging part, like to extract the data from multiple sources, because extraction process may involve different types of operation. Now let us assume that we have extracted the data, means we have just stored the data in whatever required format is. Now, as we already know, in case of data warehouse, we are interested in storing the data in structured format. Okay, structured format. So it is very important, like whenever you are extracting the data, so before sending it to any particular target, let us say you are storing data in, let us say, cloud location. We will be studying one of the very important service called as S3 in the coming part. So now we want to store the data as per the structure. Okay. So how you can ensure that you are following a particular structure? So this particular we can say terminology will be helpful in that situation. So we want to transform the data into the required format. Okay, so structured format. Now structured format can be like your databases, SQL based databases. So transform can have lot of operations. Okay, for example, you are converting the data from one particular format into another one. You may be transforming the data in terms of databases. For example, you have the database of MySQL, but your target database may be of Oracle, maybe of some another vendor. So how you can use that? So transform is basically performing action on your data so that you can have some more operations on that. Okay, you can transform it. And finally, we are loading the data into some of the data storage. Okay, again, it totally depends on the use case. It totally depends on how you are managing your data warehouse that you can load your data into. Okay, so for example, this particular course or in future, we'll be discussing about AWS specific data warehousing technique. So we already learned, like in the previous section or previous session, we can say, like in case of AWS, we have a service called it Redshift. Okay, So all this particular process, extract, transform, and load, how we can do in Redshift, and what will be your load, or you can say the final destination where you are loading the data. So right now it is just a generic terminology that what exactly it means when we talk about ETL pipeline or ETL specifically. Okay, so this process will be we can say, depending on again situation, will be manual, or we can automate this with respect to some more advanced tools, like we have glue to be discussed in the coming part. Okay, or AWS glue, we can say. So extract, we can have multiple let's have some more insights in that. Okay, extract. So when we talk about extract, so we can have a lot of raw data coming from wide variety of sources like databases, CRM, flat files, API, other report data repositories. So a lot of things are there. And using multiple types of data, it is very important, like we must maintain the data integrity. Okay, so when we talk about data integrity, so we can just have like whatever format of data, or whatever uh, we can say, preserve the properties of data. Okay, security of data. So integrity refers to, like, we don't want data to be corrupted whenever we are transferring it to some another format or some another storage area. So integrity refers to these kind of things. Definitely reference to legacy, whatever properties are there that you can use. So extract now, again, we can have some more references to extract, like data may be coming in a real time. Okay, so we can take the example of again, stock market analysis. For example, you have created one application that is basically working on the real time data, whatever generated from stock market, and you want to perform some of the operation on that. So extract process can just relate to real time data also, like you can focus on real time data. So it totally depends on the requirement, like whether you want to process all the data at once, or you want to process data in batches. Now we already discussed about transform, so let's have some more things. So transform process, or transforming your data into the required format, can have multiple operations, can be related to multiple operations like data cleansing, data enrichment, format changes, aggregation. Okay, you may want to add some kind of computation into data. You may want, for example, data may be encoded, you may want to decode it as per the required uh, format. What about missing values? You are working on a database that may have some of the missing values. So do we have any kind of assumption for the missing values? Do we want to introduce some more data? So all these type of operations can be performed in transform phase of your ETL pipeline. Okay. And finally, the load operation. So load operation is basically what is our target. Okay. Where to store data. So in data warehouses, generally, your target database will be again structured. So once data is transformed, you can just store it in the whatever target database you're using. Okay. So depending on which particular service you're using, these data warehouse databases can have different properties. Okay. So load is basically where the final outcome, or where the final result is going after transforming your data. And from here, for any future approach, for example, you want to use this particular data for data analytics, data science predictions. Okay, or you may be inputting this data to any kind of AI model. Okay, machine learning model. So we have wide variety of applications when the data is coming under your data warehouse storage. Okay.
Hey there, if you like this video and want to go deeper and become an expert in AWS data engineer, whether you're already working into data or new to data and would like to take your career to the next level, I would like to invite you for a free class that I'm doing where we'll talk everything about data and data engineering services on AWS Cloud, be it S3 Lakehouse, or it could be Athena, Glue, Kinesis, Firehose, databases, RDS, all type of data. And we're going to talk everything about data, including why you should be learning. And I'm going to give you my 3-step framework to go from a complete beginner to getting certified and getting a higher paid job on cloud or in data engineering on cloud. So if you're interested, enter your, go to this URL, K21Academy.com/AWS Data 02, enter your name, email address, phone number, and click on register now. And I'll see you in the other side of this class.